Let's talk about surviving and thriving during a wedding as a chronically ill and neurodivergent bridesmaid. This is my first one I'm going to as a bridesmaid, so I'm gonna take you guys with me. But first up, we're gonna talk about the outfit, right? Shoes come first because you need them when you get your dress hemmed. You have to have the right shoes that you're going to be wearing at the ceremony so that they can tell what length to hem your dress to. Shoes are a huge thing. I highly recommend, especially if you're a woman, finding shoes that are comfortable. And I'm not talking just like, oh, I can tolerate them. No, like you want to find shoes that you can walk around all day in and they're not going to bother you. Anything with a heel is probably gonna hurt after some amount of time. That's just the way it is. But if you have to wear something with a heel, see if you can find something with no more than like 2 inches, because the higher the heel, the harder they are to wear. Another thing that I looked for in my shoes is not a pointed toe. I cannot handle a pointed toe, and personally I find that anything with a wider toe area is more comfortable for me. So just knowing things like that about your feet and about your style might help. I have found that these style of T-strap heels are extremely comfortable, especially if you get into things like character shoes. So character shoes are something that are worn on stage and they're meant to be danced in. They're meant to be worn for hours of rehearsal and for actors and actresses to be able to wear for longer periods of time and be able to move comfortably in them. So they are typically made of leather, and leather will stretch to fit your feet. If you choose something that's more of a faux leather, make sure that it's comfortable right off the bat because it's not going to have as much stretch. These I just got off of Amazon, but I found that they work really well. Another thing that I looked for is that they have a chunky heel. So if you are going to be outside or walking around on grass at all, you're gonna want something with a thicker heel, because if you wear something with one of those stilettos, it's gonna go right into the grass and you're not gonna be able to get out. Those also have a higher chance of getting caught in things like grates or anything that might be on the floor. So, and they also have a higher chance of breaking. So choosing something that has a thicker, chunkier heel is gonna last you a lot longer and have more of a chance of working out for you. Another feature that I chose on these shoes is they have grip on the bottom. You can kind of see here. That is really helpful to me. You don't want to be sliding around, especially while you're walking down the aisle with the groomsmen. Also, the benefit of an ankle strap like this is that they stay on very well. So something like flats that doesn't have a strap over the top of your foot or around your ankle, you really want to be careful with, because you might think that they're fitting you really well, but if you haven't practiced moving around in them, they might fall off. So just make sure that you're paying attention and they're gonna stay on your feet. Another thing that I did is that I wore them several minutes each day, and that was just to get used to them, get used to walking in them, see how comfortable they are. All of those things are super important. I also got this pair of flats. They came kind of folded up like this, just with this bag, just in case the heels get to be like really awful and I still want to be wearing shoes. These are kind of my backup. But then the dress is going to be like 2 inches longer, so I'm going to have to be really careful with that too. So there you have it. There's the shoes that I chose, very neutral color at the request of the bride. All these match the bride's vision, so we're good to go. The dress. It is no secret that on the wedding day there is going to be a lot of different things happening. And so if you're feeling uncomfortable in what you are wearing, it's just going to push any emotions over the top. This is something that I have dealt with for a very long time personally with the sensory input. I have a lot of sensory issues. So I am going to be wearing this dress around. I recommend not eating in it, but to wear it before the actual day so that you get used to the way it sits on your body, you get used to the fabric, you get used to how it moves with you, all of those things. Also then, if there's any issues with it, you can troubleshoot those ahead of time and you won't have to deal with them on the day. I personally am really grateful that my friend chose a dress with pockets. I think that's wonderful, and also kind of adjustable straps. So if you can ask for a dress, like if you have any input on the kind of dress that you're getting, choosing something that's going to be more comfortable is also helpful. I also got mine tailored. I'm very short, so I had to have it hemmed, but making sure that it's the right length is going to prevent you from tripping and stepping on it all day long. Tags. If it says don't rip it out anyway. You don't need it. You can save it, but this is going to drive you insane. Get rid of it right away and get rid of any of the little pieces that get stuck there. However you need to do that, be careful with the stitching, but you don't want this, I promise. These little ribbons though, they do have a purpose, and ideally if you can handle keeping them, you should, because they help hang the dress on the hanger so that it doesn't put pressure on the actual straps and kind of stretch it out. So these are important. They're usually made of a softer material. If you can't handle that, it's okay. You can get like one of the clip hangers or however you need to take care of it. The other thing that people ignore that I think is super important is if it's got a zipper, it's gonna have one of these little hook and eye clasps. Wait, can you see that? Hook and eye clasp. And you just take it and you put the little hook right through the loop, and then you can ask a friend to help you. Then it can't come apart, but it prevents it from coming apart throughout the day. So if you're moving and the zipper starts to slide down, it's gonna do that a lot less because it's already clipped together. So keep that as well. Your dress is also probably gonna come in a plastic bag like this one. I recommend that you keep it in the bag, even if you're traveling, like, and you're stuffing it in a suitcase and all of that, because it usually comes with a hanger, you can leave the hanger on. Because then if anything in your suitcase spills or it gets like lost or damaged or like any of that kind of stuff, it's going to stay okay inside the bag. Now we're going to talk about makeup. So makeup is another thing that a lot of people have sensory issues with, and the idea of wearing it all day can be really overwhelming. When you're going to be in pictures and you're going to be around people, you're going to want to make sure that the makeup that you're wearing is something that is comfortable on your face and that you can tolerate for hours at a time. So trying out your makeup in advance, especially if you're doing your own, can be really helpful. A lot of people are totally okay if you choose to do your own makeup, but sometimes they also do have people like makeup artists who will come in and help you. So I chose to do my own makeup because I personally don't like somebody that close to my face and touching my face. Also, I am very fair and it's really easy to go overboard with the makeup, and I end up looking like a total Barbie, which is, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just not the look that I'm going for. It has been requested that we do soft glam, so I talked with a couple of friends and my mom, and we worked out that this makeup look was going to work for me. I might change a couple of little things on the day, but I have worn this before and I'm wearing it all day today, and the products that I'm using are very lightweight and they don't feel like very much on my skin, so I'm not gonna have any huge sensory issues. It's not going to feel super heavy. The only thing is I think I'm going to avoid like the false lashes because I don't think I'm going to tolerate them well. So choosing to opt out of some of the things like that is totally okay. Very similar deal with your hair. If you have hair that it really bothers you when it's down, maybe choose, an updo. And if you have an issue with your hair being pulled into a tight updo, maybe leave it down, or maybe half up, half down. Another thing that I have found is things like clips tend to do better than things like ponytails because especially claw clips, they don't grab onto your hair as aggressively, and so you don't get those spots that are just like pulling super tight. So if you have sensory issues with your hair, find some sensory friendly styles and try them out for a couple of days in advance. I find that when I try things out and wear them for a couple of days, it gets easier and easier so that on the day I'm not feeling overwhelmed. Plus, if you know exactly what's going to happen and what you're going to do with your makeup and your hair and your outfit and all of that, it just reduces a lot of stress. After you practice these things, you can put all the stuff in the bag right away. That way you know you're not going to forget anything because it's all already in there and you just put it on your face. I personally like to put all of my products in these little bags, then I travel with them. I just know that each one has a purpose. So this one is going to be all of my makeup, and then I have another one for things like deodorant and dry shampoo and that kind of stuff, hairspray, all of that. And then I have a third one, and this one has things like hair ties and hairstyling equipment in it. So just having individual bags that already have all the things that you need in them can be super helpful as well. So that's some of the prep work that I have done for this wedding. You will see another video coming soon about my experience of traveling, and then potentially another one about my experience of the wedding itself. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that this was helpful. If you have any amazing tips for other people, please leave them down below in the comments. I would love to hear them.